Good day everyone. We are the Group 2 presenting the content and contextual analysis of the topic KKK and the Kartilya ng Katipunan. I am Jonathan Abello and my fellow members are Bautista Brennan George, De Jesus Timothy Neal, Hines Aliyah Josel, Lanuza Oliver, Teofilo Pulido Jr., Rimando Renzi, and Domines Guinet. Let us begin the report.
Here's a brief summary of the KKK and the Kartilya ng Katipunan. The KKK, Kataas-Taasan Kagalang-Galangang Katipunan ng mga Anak ng Bayan, or Supreme and Honorable Association of the Children of the Nation in English, also known as the Katipunan, was a Philippine revolutionary society founded by anti-Spanish colonialist Filipinos in Manila in 1892. Its primary goal was to gain independence from Spain through a revolution. Katipunan was not just an organization working towards the freedom of the Filipinos. It was built on the ideological and political foundation constructed by men and women who sacrificed themselves because of their love for the country and for the people. The Kartilya ng Katipunan served as the guidebook for new members of the organization, which laid out the group's rules and principles. The original title of the document was Lessons of the Organization of the Sons of Country. The first edition of the Kartilya was written by Emilio Jacinto, and later on Andres Bonifacio wrote a revised decalogue.
What is the main idea of the document? On July 7, 1892, the revolutionary movement Katipunan was founded by Filipinos who had given up hope that the Spanish government would rule Philippine affairs in the interest of her inhabitants. With fairness and dignity, it was a secret organization modeled after Formansori and the Liga Filipina, a mutual aid club created on July 3, 1892 by the Ilustrado Jose Rizal. And it recruited members throughout Manila suburb and central Luzon regions. By the time the revolution began in August 1896, the Katipunan had grown to some 30,000 members, including some women. The revolution began prematurely on August 23, 1896, after a Spanish friar discovered the existence of the revolutionary group on August 19, 1896. The Spanish government immediately instituted a reign of terror in an attempt to scare the public into submission following the start of the revolution. Hundreds were detained and imprisoned for allegedly supporting the Katipunan and the revolution. Notable Filipinos were exiled to the Carolines or the Spanish penal colony in Africa. And still others were killed, notably Jose Rizal, who was slain by Mascari on December 30, 1896, from Manila and Cavite. The revolution extended to Laguna, Batangas, Bulacan, Pampanga, Tarlac, and Nueva Ecija, which are symbolized by the 8 rays of the Philippine flag.
The author or the creator. The author of the document is Emilio Jacinto, born on December 15, 1875, and son of Mariano Jacinto and Josefa Dizon. He went to a private school for his primary education and Colegio de San Juan de Letran for his secondary education, and his college school, and the University of Santo Tomas for his law studies. Emilio Jacinto dropped out of college at the age of 20. He joined the Katipunan, a secret revolutionary society. Emilio became the secretary of the one who reports directly to the leader of the Katipunan. He also became the chief advisor on fiscal matters concerning the society. He wrote the society's newspaper called the Kalayaan. He was also referred to as the Utak ng Katipunan. Emilio Jacinto was in charge in creating the guidebook for new members, was called Kartilya ng Katipunan. He died April 16, 1899, at the age of 24.
During the Spanish regime, the Katipunan was formed to fight against the rule of the Spanish. Set of rules were created to guide and mold all members. The document was called Kartilya ng Katipunan. With all the listed rules in the Kartilya ng Katipunan, all the country and willingness to die for the country were the primary goals. The other rules to mold the Katipuneros to be better individuals where honesty, faith, love, respect, and equality, regardless of education, color, and creed. The goals and values will be kept in our modern times. We are Katipuneros.
What was happening when the document was written? 1892 through 1897, the Philippines had a covert patriotic anti-Spanish organization. It created and directed the organization. Bonifacio E. Jacinto and other members of the Liga Filipinas Revolutionary Democratic Wing, a patriotic revolutionary movement founded in 1892 after the Liga Filipina disintegrated in 1893. Katipunan grew into a broad-based organization with over 100,000 members in 1896, awarding to some estimates 400,000. The Katipunan's program declared men's equality and called for the protection of the downtrodden, as well as mutual aid and self-sacrifice in the name of the nation. The Katipunan abandoned the Liga Filipinas' ineffective reformist efforts and began preparing for the violent overthrow of Spanish authority. In response to Bonifacio's exhortation, an insurrection erupted in August 1896. The Katipunan Supreme Council not only commanded military operations but also became the national instrument of revolutionary authority, with its provincial sections taking local government's roles in the aftermath of popular forces' triumphs. E is in charge. Aguinaldo and the Burgos and Lando Wing groups who had joined the insurrection opposed the Katipunan in favor of a republican administration to remove extreme plebeian elements from the revolution's leadership. The insurgents declared the Republic of the Philippines in March 1897, and Aguinaldo was chosen president. In order to gain control of the movement, the Aguinaldo Group disbanded the Katipunan on May 10, 1897. Bonifacio was wrongly accused of conspiracy and killed. The Katipunan revolutionaries began to play subservient position in Republican governance, and were unable to prevent Aguinaldo's submission to the colonialists, the Biak na Bato Pact of 1897.
What is your newly acquired knowledge? With the Spanish colonialism that forced the Filipinos to bring life to the Katipunan, we can reflect from the past and learn from it, just like how the Filipinos were able to realize that the only way to achieve their desired goal for freedom is through disciplining themselves to become a stronger, united force through the rules and values written by Emilio Jacinto in the Kartilya ng Katipunan. Through the Katipunan, which was the first organization that united the Filipinos to fight against the Spaniards, it was proven that a nation that stands together can face even the strongest forces that tries to take away our freedom. And we, as modern Filipinos, should always carry this unity and camaraderie among us, and to always fight for our rights to freedom.
How did it contribute to history? Reading the Kartilya he seemed to have written, I can sense that the reason that drove his mind to why he wanted to set these principles to all his companions. Jacinto wanted to help achieve Filipino independence from Spain. For the new government imagined by Bonifacio, he wanted to set out values that would build a stronger community. The document is needed to be doctrine and ideology of the Katipunan. He is a person with a vision for an equitable and morally sound Filipino country, to which he believed is needed to be the vision of the Katipuneros too. Today, in this modern world, Kartilya ng Katipunan made people, especially Filipinos, aware that the Katipunan was a revolutionary Philippine society in which its main purpose was to achieve independence from Spain. This document demonstrates that there were intellectual and morally revolutionaries fighting for the independence of the Philippines. We can learn a lot from them, especially in being a disciplined citizen.
Here are our references and sources. Thank you for listening.